Hey guys, welcome back to a short video. Knight's Armament sr-15 556. Little update. This is what it looks like after about a week of ownership. Do you have AKs and all sorts of DeVores? And I got a mess everywhere. Either way, changed out a few things, added a few things, and got about 200-ish rounds through this so far. It's a very interesting platform. I'll definitely be doing a comparison on it. I'm not disappointed, but don't get into one of these thinking that they're going to compete with a high-end match rifle. You'll definitely need to change out, at least the brake would probably be a huge thing if you wanted it to shoot super soft. But this thing, I would probably say, is a little bit overgassed. It's got a lot of muzzle rise during shooting, but either way, it's still Knight's Armament. It's supposed to be good. So first thing I decided to change or add to this was an optic. These are the Knight's Armament iron sights, irons. They came with the gun, so I put those on there. I do have the Night Force Attacker ATAC R 1-8 here. It is in the spur mount, the QDP 4016, which is a quick detach, and it is also a cantilever mount. I like that just fine. I recently put on the Trigicon RMR on there. It is a Type 2 RMR 06. You can see that. I originally had it, I wanted it over here on the back. I wanted it on the 45 on the back, but you can kind of see that this mount overhangs a decent amount, and it would get caught up on the turrets. So, and there's not enough space to move the scope forward in this mount. So a little bit of trade-off. I put it on the front, had it on the 45, was doing a little bit of dry fire practice. It just wasn't sitting quite right with me. So I decided to put it on the top. It looks goofy in my opinion, IMO, but it is very functional. I picked that dot up very fast. I don't have to cant the rifle or do anything funky as I indexed a gun or indexed a gun. The RMR is the first thing I pick up, and then I pick up this on my way up to point it in. So it is less of a transition for me to use a dot on the top. I just hope that I can get maybe a 20-yard zero or a 15-yard zero on the RMR. And you can see I just run this guy on, like, maybe you can't. I just run that guy on like a 6 power or an 8 power, and I just kind of leave it there. That way, if I am shooting, 100 yards, 50 yards, I can just acquire this. If I'm inside of 50 yards, I can just acquire the dot. Plenty fast for me. Moving over, I did decide to swap out. This came with the Magpul MOE stock. I really just, there's nothing wrong with this stock. I'm just not a huge fan. So got rid of that. And I found a B5. I think they're a B5 system. It's a SOP mod stock from B5. Really like it. Haven't had any issues with it. It has a good cheek weld. It's small. It's not very light. It does have 2 little storage compartments. I can't open them. So I don't know if I got to take like a pair of pliers or something to open them. But either way, I can't physically turn this knob and open them. Not going to put anything in there anyways, but whatever. Magpul MOE grip that came with it. That is the factory Knight's Armament trigger. It is a very nice trigger. I have no interest in changing that. That is after 100 rounds of shooting, that is chips in the finish. I'm not real pleased with that, but shells do come out of there rather fast. Factory dust cover. So that works just fine. Magpul grip. magazine, Magpul clip. Next thing I added to this was the Cloud Defense Owl optimized weapon light. I couldn't really decide on what I wanted. I was looking for a Surefire with a pressure switch. Couldn't really figure out which one I wanted or the right options for me. And I just ended up with the Owl. It has pretty darn decent candelabras and lumens. And it was just kind of the right option. They are expensive, but in comparison to... Sorry, I'm playing with a bunch of settings apparently. In comparison to the Surefires, where you have to buy the mount, the pressure switch, you're into a Surefire, or... Oh, I forget all the other fancy flashlights. You're into those lights for as much, if not more, than this. So I just decided to go on that, and I've been happy with it. That is the Knight's Armament flash hider slash suppressor mount device. I don't have the suppressor. I believe it is only compatible with the Knight's Armament suppressor, which I don't believe they have released to the general public like me. Next thing that came with, but I also did purchase, are these guys here. When I did shoot this gun, the handguard, after about 100 rounds, got really hot to the touch. It wasn't, obviously not full auto, but was in relatively rapid succession. The handguard got very warm, kind of uncomfortably so. So I decided to put on the covers. It only came with, I want to say it only came with 6. So each piece comes with 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sections. So I could put 2 pieces on the side, the bottom, and the other side. I decided to buy another 2 boxes of these. This is what they look like. That way I could have most of my rail covered up by them. That way, if I'm not running my fingers or my hands super far forward, I'm not going to access the light. Or if I have a shorter shooter, they can utilize this without having to stretch way out there. And it just kind of, I feel, kind of completes the look. I might buy another box and just finish the rail, but I'm unsure. So it's kind of a look at this guy. Not going to be a super long video here. Pretty much done with this gun. Like, as far as upgrades are concerned, isn't a whole lot left that I'll probably end up buying a suppressor for this eventually, but I'm not in a rush to. I might buy another pack of covers. Might. And I also might do a vertical grip, like a Bravo Company BCM grip, potentially. But right now, this gun fits and feels just about right for me. So I'm not going to mess with that. Look at the front iron sights. Just to pull up. They don't have a button to quick deploy. Just to pull up and push down, which is nice. That's the other side of the Owl. Nice little pressure switch on it. Can't really see it. You can quick push for a constant on. You can hold as a pressure switch. So that's that. Let's the other look at the other side of the attacker and the mount. This mount is heavy, but it is very nice. It does have nice locking features. It has a snug tight fit as far as the clamp, but it is easy to come on and off. Ambi controls, so on and so forth. So thank you guys. I think we're at 380 subscribers. It's also my weight. So thank you for doing that. As always, like and subscribe if you want to. If you don't want to, please don't. Be true to yourself. Guys, stay safe, stay dangerous, and we'll catch you out on the range.